All right, it is Friday, November 14th, and man, we have a packed slate of football to get into. From huge World Cup qualifiers to some interesting domestic games, we're going to walk through all the matches that matter. So let's not waste any time, let's jump right into the picks. Look, anybody can just throw picks at you, right? What we're going to do here is explain why we're making these calls. The goal is that by the end of this, you'll know exactly why we're on certain teams and what to look out for in every single game. So, we're starting with the heavy hitters, the World Cup 2026 qualifiers. This is where it gets serious, right? National pride is on the line, and these games are absolutely massive for shaping the road to the biggest tournament in all of sports. Let's see where we can find some winners. First up, we're heading to Helsinki for Finland versus Malta. Now look, with all due respect to Malta, there is just a massive, massive gap in quality here. Finland has players scattered across Europe's top leagues, and they are tough to beat at home. This one really only points in one direction. So what does that all mean? For us, it points to a 3-1 win for Finland. We fully expect them to control the game and just create chance after chance. I could see Malta maybe sneaking one in, getting a consolation goal, but Finland's attack, it's just going to be way too much for them to handle. That's why we're so confident in the over 2.5 goals here. Next, we're off to Zagreb for Croatia against the Faroe Islands. And, well, this is another classic David versus Goliath situation. I mean, you look at that Croatian midfield, it's one of the best in the entire world. They are going to absolutely run this show from the opening whistle. Yeah, a 3-0 scoreline just feels right for this one. Croatia has more than enough firepower to break down a team that's just going to sit back and defend. And honestly, I just don't see how the Faroe Islands are going to cause them any problems on the counterattack. So that over 2.5 goals looks like a very strong, high-confidence play. Okay, now let's talk Luxembourg hosting the German machine. And you gotta give credit where it's due, Luxembourg is not the easy out they used to be. But this is Germany we're talking about. Their tactical setup and that relentless pressing game should just completely suffocate Luxembourg. It's gonna be a long night for the home side. So with Germany just squeezing the life out of the game, we're looking at a pretty clean 3-0 victory. And this, it kind of continues a theme for today's qualifiers. The big favorites should be finding the back of the net. That makes the over 2.5 goals a really logical, high-confidence pick. All right, time for our first real puzzle of the day. Slovakia versus Northern Ireland. This is a totally different kind of game. Forget all that free-flowing attacking football we've been talking about. This is going to be a cagey, defensive chess match. Seriously, one little mistake could decide the whole thing. Because it's going to be such a tactical grind, we're leaning towards a 2-0 win for Slovakia. Both of these teams are built on solid defense, so chances are going to be few and far between. And that's why, for the very first time today, we're flipping the script and going with the under 3.5 goals. It feels like a much tighter game, so we're at a medium confidence level. And we're right back to a classic mismatch with Gibraltar hosting Montenegro. If you look at Gibraltar's history, their defense really struggles against teams with technical skill. We're expecting Montenegro to find all sorts of space and create a ton of opportunities to score. So, no surprise here, this one is screaming a 3-0 win for Montenegro. The quality they have up front should be more than enough to get past that over 2.5 goals mark with ease, which puts it right back in that high confidence category for us. Now this could be the game of the day right here. Poland taking on the Netherlands. Okay, so the Dutch, they play this crazy, relentless high press. It's great for creating chances, but man, it can leave them wide open at the back. This tactical clash just screams goals, and probably for both sides. Yeah, this one has all the ingredients for a really fun match. We think the Netherlands pulls it out, 3-1, but we definitely see Poland getting on the score sheet. Over 2.5 goals feels super likely, but the game itself is just a bit too unpredictable to go high confidence, so we're keeping it at medium. Okay, so let's switch gears for a minute. We're moving away from the senior internationals and diving into some domestic action and youth football from the Wales Premier League and the Euro U21 qualifiers. So first up in Wales, look, if you follow this league at all, you know the deal. TNS, the new Saints, they basically run the show. They are the absolute dominant force, and this match should really just be another day at the office for them. Yeah, with how dominant they are, you just have to expect a ton of goals. We're calling a 4-1 thrashing for TNS. It's another game where the over 2.5 goals just makes perfect sense, and we're putting it down as a high confidence pick. Now to the Euro U21s, and we start with a game that is, let's be honest, a complete and total mismatch. You've got Spain's U21s who are just packed with incredible talent up against San Marino.
I mean, Spain is just going to have the ball from the first minute to the last. Total control.
For this one, it's not a question of if Spain will win. It's just a matter of by how many. You got to remember, this U21 squad is loaded with guys who are going to be huge stars, and they're going to want to put on a show. We're calling a 4-0 demolition, which makes over 2.5 goals about as safe as a high-confidence pick can get.
Okay, last game. England's U21s against Ireland's U21s. England has a seriously good attack. It's probably going to be too much for the Irish defense to handle over 90 minutes. But, Ireland's got a lot of fight in them. I wouldn't be shocked at all if they managed to grab a goal.
So when you add it all up, a 3-1 win for England feels about right. This is the last over 2.5 goals pick of the day, and yeah, we're sticking it in that medium confidence bucket to round things out.
So if you zoom out and look at the whole day, what's the story? Well, it's pretty clear. It is leaning heavily towards our high-confidence picks. We've got 7 matches where we feel there's a really clear path to a result, and just 2 games that feel a little more up in the air.
Okay, and here it is, the full rundown for you. You can see everything in one place. The big theme today, it's goals, goals, goals. 8 of our 9 picks are for the over. Go ahead and pause here if you want to take a closer look before we wrap up.
And there you have it. That's our look at Friday's football. But before I let you go, I've got a question for you. We've got 7 high-confidence picks on the board, but football's never that simple, is it? So which one is the trap? The one that looks solid but is just waiting to trip us up. Let me know what you think. We'll catch you next time.